Hello. Welcome back to Let's Talk Ray Bradbury. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please take a moment to do that now. As promised, I am diving into From the Dust Returned by Ray Bradbury, which was a 2001 fix-up novel containing stories going back as far as 1948, I believe. So some of these stories have been around for a long time. Some of them are more recent and only appeared for the first time in the collection. As a fix-up novel containing various short stories, I found that some of the short stories maybe don't necessarily fully fit the definition of short story. They're part of the framing device by which these stories were pulled together into a novel. And they're not even on some of the list of his stories, but all those lists are incomplete anyway. But I'm going to treat them each as chapters here, each as their own individual stories. And today we're looking at The Beautiful One Is Here. This is the prologue to the book. It is the announcement of the framing device by which the other stories are pulled together into one cohesive whole. But as for that plot, stored away in the highest attic of a very strange house is an Egyptian mummy. Neither living or dead, her presence is merely there from time to time. A boy named Timothy comes up the stairs to visit her. She is his grandmother 1,000 times removed, and he calls her the Beautiful One, but she insists that, no, I'm not beautiful any longer, young man. He wets her lips with wine, coming back from a wine from a vintage of nearly 3000 BC, they say, and he tells her that tomorrow is the homecoming, the time of year, or the time occasionally when all the family member flies in from around the world to visit them and have a party. He chatters on until she insists that he quit talking and says, let me recall my 4,000 years of lifetime. And this is setting up her about to tell him more tales, or to tell us more tales through the collection From the Dust Returned. Perhaps not a short story by the full definition of the word. Again, it is the framing device for the rest of a novel, but it's still pretty good. We don't know much about Timothy yet, except that he's a curious young boy, and he's very likely to be the personification of, or the representative of Ray Bradbury. He often inserted himself into his stories in that way. But he's curious, friendly. He mentions being afraid at first, but he quickly warms up to great-grandmother. So there is that. So we know there is some bravery in him. But really, the more intriguing character is the Beautiful One herself. She's instantly intriguing. She's sort of a Tales from the Crypt keeper type guide for us. And she's mysterious without actually being terrifying, which is interesting. As usual, Bradbury's seemingly effortless prose, and it's not effortless by any stretch of the means to actually, or the word to actually write. It's instantly disarming. It draws you in with just a couple of pages, and it makes the reader sort of feel like a child at story time, ready to hear a bedtime tale from their grandfather, perhaps. I've already read some of the stories in this collection, so I have some idea where the meat of the collection is. But I'm still intrigued. This is a great start, and I really enjoyed it. You know, it takes a couple minutes to read, and I would, from just this, I would say that, yeah, this is something that I want to continue reading. And we will continue reading it again very, very soon with Chapter 1, The Time and the Place. So be sure to tune in a couple of days for more Let's Talk Ray Bradbury. I'll see you then.